Armando. What's up, man?
Hi, Joe. How are you? It's really great to see you again. And Joe, before you ask me another question, I want to tell you how great it is for what you do for the sport of wrestling and how much we appreciate all the exposure and everything you've done for our sport. I couldn't thank you enough for what you do for these wrestlers and what you do for us coaches as well.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, Joe.
Makes me feel good. Thank you. Here in Tulsa, how many guys came down from AWA?
We only brought 3 kids this weekend. We have a large contingency of kids, but we felt like we were only going to bring the 3 who put in the work and deserve to come. And right now, we have 2 in the finals, and we have 1 in for third, so we've lost 1 match over the whole weekend.
So this is like getting to do this, like a reward. Getting to come to one of the toughest tournaments in the country is a reward.
Yes, sir. This is a reward for the kids, and the ones who aren't getting good grades, who aren't doing the work they're supposed to do, we won't reward them. We'll keep them home and make them earn it.
Yeah. So it's about more than what's going on in the wrestling room then.
Absolutely, it's about what's going on at home. It's about how the kids are handling the pressures and the stress of training. And like I told you before in the past, we want to make it fun and enjoy the whole journey of what they're going through, the whole experience. But if these kids aren't putting the time in and they're not taking the wrestling seriously, then we aren't going to take them out there if they're not at 100%. And so we made it a point this year. In years past, Joe, we've brought a lot of kids. But this time we brought the ones we felt that deserved to be here.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So, pretty successful trip so far. What kind of training goes into having a kid place high at a tournament like this?
Well, it's funny. We had to really step it up. I think we were at Vegas about a month and a half ago at the Freak Show, and our kids didn't perform the way they should have. And it was a wake-up call for us as coaches because we'd become a little bit complacent. We were happy with what they were doing in the room, and we weren't really pushing them like we should. So that was a wake-up call for us. So we've gone home, and in the last 3 months, we've really put the work back in. And what we mean, not only the technical improvements and the pace in the room, but we've also put the time in the right way. So we're more focused now on their hours of sleep they're getting, the amount of calories they're intaking. So we're looking at recovery as well as training and growth. And so we're making our kids come up with a lot of plans to stay on, which will help them progress long term.
So in Vegas, you take the blame for
100%. My Armando Jr., who's the head coach of AWA, he is the head coach of our club, and he is the technician, and he's the one that really structures all of our practices and our drilling sessions and everything like that. And yeah, he's really hard on himself. So he took it all as a reflection of the effort and the technical aspect that he had been applying. And we made a lot of changes and adjustments, and we're very happy right now to see that once again, I think we believe our kids are back on the cutting edge and are doing very well. It's showing out on the mat.
Gotcha. I just sat next to you while you coached Valencia. It was really positive. It was not a whole lot of yelling, and you see a lot of that here. Is that typically how you do it? Is there a time to be louder? Is there a time to have a different attitude? Or?
That's a great question, Joe, and you're absolutely, I'm amazing that you were able to pull that out. But Aiden, he's been around now. He goes to the Olympic training centers. He's been to the World Championships. He's been coached by a lot of different coaches. And so when he's out there being coached by different coaches, a lot of them aren't as comfortable as we are with the technical aspect of our system. So they pretty much sit back and allow them to wrestle. So we're structuring Aiden's training and his wrestling more with his ability to flow and think on his own. So we put the stuff out there for him to drill, and then he expands on it. So we're allowing him a lot more latitude on the mat to make these decisions on his own. As you saw in that match, he told us he wanted to cut the guy. He told us he would rather go down. We're not directing him so much anymore because he's at those levels.
Yeah, that match, that guy who wrestled, look, he's dangerous. But Aiden stays in such good position, and I say anytime it starts to go the other way, I feel like he's right back in position, and then scores. It has the ability to score right off there. How do you develop a talent like that?
It's hard to compare your children, and we don't make comparisons with the other kids in our club with a kid like Aiden Valencia because he is 1 in a million. He studies the sport. He's a savant. He watches every single match there is to watch on the internet. He knows the names of all the relevant wrestlers. He knows the scores and what goes on in matches. So 1,000 words are saved by the studying that he does. And we go online and we talk about different matches, and then we go in the room and we work on specific items that he wants to pick up from them. So he is really the driver of his own success.
Yeah, a hammer wrestler, but you know what I love too? Anytime I see that kid, shakes my hand, smiles, and I feel like I see anybody that he interacts with, so I feel like you got a really good one in that guy. Sky's probably the limit too.
Thank you, Joe. That's right. You know, he's what we call a coach's dream. He loves his coaches. He loves his teammates. He loves to practice. He walks in the room every day and says, "Guys, I'm here." And that's his, we all laugh because that's his every day. And we just get to work when he shows up.
Yeah, awesome. So how are you growing as a coach? You've been doing this for a while. How do you continue to grow and stay on top of the sport that's evolving?
You know, Joe, it's really the ability to read each kid and what their needs are, and to be able to structure certain specific situations that will help each kid individually develop. So we have a room that we teach a system to, but at the same time, we're individually developing kids based on their tendencies, based on their body type, and their personality. Some kids are hammers, some kids are laid back. So we're really, that's where we're really getting better, is to be more versatile and to expand kids in whatever direction that they want to go in.
You having fun?
I love this. This is just a great time for me, and I thank you so much, Joe, for coming to see me again today.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for being awesome. You got anything else to share?
USA Wrestling, #1, baby. Thank you, Joe.